Peace. You know, every event in your life, every circumstance in your life, every relationship that you have in your life, every little bit of experience that you encounter, it is all a lesson, it is all a teaching, and it is all very specific to you in that way. So let us learn. If it is all a teaching, then let us learn from it. It is so funny the way that we were children, you know, we are so much like that. We have so much to learn, and everything is there for us to learn. And very often we will get distracted by things. We will throw tantrums. Things aren't going our way. It was more difficult than I wanted it to be. Or perhaps this thing over here is very shiny and interesting, and I'm going to have to go and look at it. But in every little thing in this life, whatever thing you are encountering right now, the thing that seems like it will not go away from you, the theme that keeps repeating, the same problem that you are encountering over and over and over again, the little roadblocks along the way. You might notice that they look the same, that they act the same. Maybe it is a human being, maybe it is relationships, maybe they're all speaking the same. Maybe you notice it in the world, in the events that are occurring, in the dichotomy of things, you know, in the polarity that exists everywhere, in the insistence that people seem to have to be right and for someone else to be wrong, for there to be this side and that side, and for none of it to really make any sense to you. It all plays into this certain type of a thing. That something is looking to be resolved within our own being. And that is happening in every individual. If we can just bear it enough, be present enough, develop that enough in yourself that you can be present, that you do not lose your consciousness, that you do not react, that we're not triggered by all of these things, that we don't have to identify in these certain little tiny ways that make you an other, that makes me something different than you. Yes, we are individuals. Of course we are. And there is grand importance in that. But if we can simply be present enough in the learning that we are going to actually engage in the learning, that we will pay attention, that we will be awake, that will be a good path for us to take. The alternative is quite horrible, because it means you are not learning. And if you are not learning, you will not grow. You will not grow past whatever is in front of you. And suffering becomes needless. And it will be difficult, and there will be suffering in developing the presence to embrace the learning, to embrace the lesson, not to run away from it, to be participant in it, to be able to experience difficult things and understand that they are for you, to have disagreements with people, to live in a world that isn't entirely perfect or even close to have to witness difficult things, truly difficult things, and to be able to learn from them. That is what is required of us. And it is very beautiful, and we are very fortunate in that that is the nature of consciousness itself, you know. Whatever you would like to say a human being is, the nature of consciousness is a very beautiful nature. It is a benevolent nature. It is seeking to do something with a human being, and it is seeking to do something good. And we should not get rid of our humanity. We should not replace it with technology. We should not replace our relationships to ourselves and each other with technologies. But develop our own nature, that we are more together, that we are more individually, that we are empowered and embracing the lesson and the learning that is occurring, rather than seeking convenience to outrun or to escape it or to not have it at all. That would be the worst thing that we could do. To abandon the path that we were set upon. And truly, I do not believe it will be a choice in the end of it all. I do not think that you have entirely. I think the decision has already been made. And more so, what is occurring here and now is a revealed nature of that learning, of that difficulty, of that lesson that is being presented, and the presence that is developed within it, in each and every human being. I believe that truth is being revealed. I believe that we will have to stand before God at some point in time, and we will have to see the truth of ourselves. Did you run away from it? Did you hide? Did you try and abandon yourself? Did you abandon others? Have you abandoned me? Things like that, you know. Of course it wasn't easy. But was there a reason for you to fight for it? That you can have peace? Of course. Of course. And if there's love in your heart, this is a very profound kind of a thing, really. Because the more that I'm paying attention to everything, the years that go by as I'm paying attention to everything, as I am awake and present and willing in my own suffering, and the more I'm paying attention to others. This question, if there is love in your heart, sometimes it is difficult to see if it is there. But if it is, you cannot be a loving thing and not finish the work that you have been placed here to do within your own being, within your own psyche, within your own heart, your human life. Because if you do not do it, someone else will have to carry that burden. Your children, perhaps. And maybe you do not have them. But the children of this world, the children of God, life itself, will have to reckon with what you did not. And there is so much power in that. If you want to be an empowered person, just remember that every day. That there is a task here that only you can do. That you are the hero in this grand story, in this grand adventure. That it might all fall on you. And that doesn't have to mean, that you have to conquer the entirety of this world. It means you need to conquer yourself. It doesn't mean you need to be rich. It doesn't mean you need to be poor. It doesn't mean that you need to be the most religious or scholarly or intelligent, the best looking, the strongest, the fastest. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means that you embraced yourself, that you were a participant in the learning, that you were there for it, that you didn't shy away from it. That if there was something for you to be doing, that only you will know that you must be doing, that you do it, that you choose it, that you're not afraid, that you do not turn away. And in the moments that we do encounter fear, that you do not hide from that itself, that you are encountering it, that it is okay for that to be occurring, that you are willing in the lesson that fear is, that you are willing in the lesson that love is, that you are willing in the lesson that all of this world is presenting to you. All of the polarity, all of the heaviness, all of the weight, all of the difficulties in the relationships that you have, the things that you believe you have lost, all of it. It is a gift to you. I will tell you, it is a gift to you. And it is a gift only you can receive and that you can only develop yourself from. And that can mean so much to so many things that you may not see. That's why I encourage you, and I remind myself as well, that we are present in this learning and in these lessons, and that we are accepting of ourselves and each other, and the difficulty and the necessary suffering that is there, and that we embrace these things. And that is enough for us as life. That is enough for us. That is what is worth it. and that you will fight for that. That you will fight for that. That is what is worth protecting. Life itself, your own unique individuality, in the process of development that comes from that. The opportunity to experience, to be free, to live, to be flawed, to be imperfect, to learn, to grow. That we can protect and provide and fight for that in ourselves and for each other. That we may stand before God someday, imperfect as we may be. We can stand before God someday, and we can be happy with what we did here. That we tried, that we did our best. And that is victory in itself. And so long as you're doing that, you will be supported in it. Little mustard seed of faith in the mountain just move. That is the entirety of the thing. Just keep going, keep doing it. And don't give it away. Don't give away your true path, your unique being, to anything. To anything. Live for it. Die well with it. Be gracious in receiving God's mercy upon you on that day that truth is known. And let us be happy enough together to remember that. Beautiful love and truth. Glory, grace, strength, thanks. Grateful, God, that you are courage, strength, protection. I'm with you. Peace.